Hello, hello. How's it going, guys? Wanted to go over some trades I took today, and I'll make this fairly quick. But this is my Topstep X 50K combine, and you'll see here I'm in a trade. I'm up 1,300 from a overnight trade I took. Overall, I'm up 600 in the combine, trying to get to 3,000. I'm short. I'm looking to hit 1,500 total profit on the day because with Top Step, you don't want to make more than 50% of your entire goal in one day uh, because that breaks the rule. So you want to, if your total goal is 3,000, you want to make 1,500. If you end up making 2,000, then you're going to have to make 4,000 total, so that $2,000 day is not more than 50% of your profit for the whole combine. So I'm looking to just make a quick $200 and get out of the market. Of course, that's the plan. It doesn't usually work that way for me. So I'm short. I'm thinking, you got strong push up, strong push down, range day. Good rejection, good rejection. I just need to come back to this, test this 20, but it's already tested it here. It's almost tested the 200. This is what I'm thinking. You got to push down, pull back. I'm looking for another push down to test this low. And, my target's a good bit up from that. So if it tries to get anywhere near this low, I'm golden. And I'm done for the day in this account. So that's what the plan is. But as you can tell, it's not working right now. Now, something that I've noticed with the NASDAQ, and another reason I'm in this trade, see how it's around the 20s and having trouble. Sometimes that 20 can act as support or resistance. So if you're under it, it can be resistance. If you're over it, coming back into it, it can be support. Since we pushed under it and we're coming back to it, I have my stop at around 25, hoping that 20 is going to hold and push us down to the, usually it'll test the 80s. It stops me out though. I get right back in because I see the hard rejection once it runs stops, and sometimes you'll get it where it runs stops and then makes the move. So it ran my stop, and I'm thinking, okay, it still has good rejection, so I'm going to get back in. You got this high, where I'm wanting it to make a lower high here and move down. This is kind of a head and shoulders. It's sloppy. But this would be a shoulder, that would be a head, and if it can make this lower high, it would be another shoulder. That's what it did right here. You have a shoulder, head, shoulder, then there's what they call the neckline, and it pushed down and had a nice little short there. Here we are, one contract. I'm down to 1,000 profit. I'm trying to make 1,500 on the day. And I'm just sitting here thinking, okay, is it going to have trouble at these highs, or are we going to push up? It's pushing. And see, when I see this, I'm like, pushing good. And I'm hoping this high is going to hold. And I'm giving it a little room because a lot of times, especially the NASDAQ, it'll run stops and come back down. But one thing you got to remember when you're doing this, a lot of times people, and I'm guilty of this, when you're starting trading, You'll get in a trade and you'll put your stop somewhere that seems to make sense, and it'll run it, and then go right back to where you just want it to go. And you think, man, the market can see my screen and it knows what I'm doing, and this thing's rigged. But that's not what's going on. What's happening is you're a human being, and everyone that's trading is a human being. And you say, well, what about algorithms? Well, somebody's got to program the algorithms, and at least at this point, it's still human beings that's programming those. So the human element in psychology's there, and you're doing what everyone else is doing, and the market wants to see its job. It's basically an auction. His job is to find orders as efficiently as possible, and so it's just finding orders, and your orders are with some other people's orders, and you've got buys and sell orders when you're not profitable. You have buy and sell orders in a not profitable spot. And when you're getting out, the profitable people are getting in. So you're selling, getting out. The profitable traders are selling, getting in, but you're both selling. And the market just sees sellers, and it goes there. And when you learn how to trade, you're not going to be getting out at where it's running to. You're going to be getting in. And you're going to do the flip of what you're doing when you're not profitable. I always think it's like, man, what if I just flipped my buttons around and had this, even though it says sell here, when I clicked it, it would buy. I'd probably be a millionaire right now, and that's the way it goes. But you'll see these breakouts that pop up and sell. Right here, see this bar right here? No telling how many people got long right there. And what happened? And when you're trying to do this, you almost can't help it. When you're first starting, and it's discipline, it's what they call FOMO, or fear of missing out, because so many times you see this take off. Sorry, I had a little interruption there. But basically, I have to get my thoughts back here. But the market is just moving as efficiently as possible, hitting sells and buys. But back to what I was saying here, the market does this sometimes and just runs. And it might run like that one time out of 10, but you remember that one time that it ran and you wasn't in it. And you think, man, if I could just get in it right here. And it would run like it did one time before when I was watching it. I'd make 50 or 100, points. But this is what it does probably 80% of the time. The breakouts fail, And so you don't remember those as much. You just remember when you missed out. But so a lot of people got long here. But you know what the good traders did? They were long here. They were long off of this. You know what they're doing? They're taking profit right here. So they're selling. And to have a seller, you got to have a buyer. So they're selling to the people that are buying right here. And then the people that are buying right here, when it runs down like this, they're selling. And the good traders are selling, getting in, and they're selling, getting out. So you see I'm trading here. I'm up 634. It's struggle bus of a day. And, I was up 1,300, just trying to get to 1,500. Now I'm down to where I'm 600 profitable. Which is still great. It just thinks when you're up 1,300, then you're down to where you're only up 600. But and this is a combine, so you want to trade your combine as close to real money as you can, but you also understand it's a combine. So I want to make my 1,500 today in this account, especially since I was so close. But so I've had a couple losers I'm up 472. I'm seeing us at some resistance here. I've been trying to short it on this move up, but here we're kind of double topping right here, and that's what I'm thinking. You got also a big whole number that's 16,050 right here. So I'm thinking, well, if we don't, really push through this high, we've had some rejection up here. We even had it on this candle. So think about this. If you were long in this candle right here, and then you get this one, you're thinking, nah, we're running out of steam here. So if you're still in it, you're thinking, I might want to take profit right here. So I'm selling because I'm still thinking range day. And I'm thinking we still could test this low. We could test this low. I'm trying to get it in 2 contracts. I'm in one, but I'm trying to get another limit order filled. So I want to be in 2. I've got a tight stop. So it's a cheap trade. And a lot of times you'll hear people refer to cheap trades. If it's a cheap trade, it means you've got a tight stop, which that's what you want. When you're able to have a tight stop like this, what's that telling you? Your trade location is good. And trade location is so important. And you've got to read the chart to figure that out. Right here was not, when I started getting short, it was not the best trade location because I was so close to the EMAs. And the 8 was over the 20. And, I knew that when I took it. It was on my mind, but I still took the trade. Just because we had this strong push, I was looking for it to test this low. But it didn't. It rejected, pushed up, rejected off the 200, pushed up, testing the high of day. And I'm short the high day. And most days, you short the high day and you're gonna get some type of pullback. You put some sell orders like a little above the high, right at the high, you're gonna get enough pullback to make, especially in NASDAQ, decent money. Same waves, sell lows, if it's moving down most days. But on the days that doesn't work, if you try it 1 or 2 times and it doesn't work, then you just don't need to try it anymore, because when it's rallying or it's selling off and you keep on trying to pick a top or pick a bottom, you're going to be upset because your account's going to be blown. And it takes one day of doing that on one of these big rally days or one of these bad sell-off days. One day of doing that and you're back at the beginning. Don't ask me how I know that. Maybe I've done it once or twice or 50 times, but yeah. So it's working right now. It's working for me. But this is what I'm thinking. I've got support here, so I'm really thinking about taking a contract off. And this is the hard part of trading. Getting in's one thing, getting out's another thing. And there's so many moving parts. The idea of trading is very simple. You buy low, sell high. But when it comes down to it, there's a lot of variables. And it takes time to work that out. And it takes a lot of hard work. And if you're not willing to put in the work, you're not going to be successful. If you think that you're going to start this and be a millionaire next month, Sorry, it's not going to happen. So I'm thinking to myself, do I just buy? Because it's struggling. I'm looking for a sharp move down, make my $1,000, and I'm up like around 1,500 and done. And the Nasdaq's fully capable of doing that. It's 15 points. It can move that pretty quickly. But it's not. There's a low right here. It's having some trouble getting under this. A lot of times it'll come back and test this high. There's a fair, what the ICT folks, and it's not anything I'm big on and don't know much about, but I know they'll call this a fair value gap. You got the high of this candle, the low of this candle, and you got a gap there. So I decided to get out. I moved my stop down and just got out. And I'm up 675 now. I made money on it. And I'm getting long because I'm bouncing off the 8. I have a trend line working for me. And I'm looking for the possibility when it went under here, you might have trapped some shorts. And if it did, this could be a nice push up. But I just got one contract on this long because it still could be a range day. Still could be a range day. But you got to be flexible. You can't get stuck. I've shorted and hadn't been profitable. Overall, since I've been trading in the morning, I'm really down like $600 because I was up 1,300. So if the market wants to go up, then I'm not going to try to fight it. And I've noticed this in my own trading. If I'm the days that I'm losing, it's like I'm fighting for every bit of profit when I'm in a trade. It's just a fight. But on days where I'm profitable, it's, I'm in a trade and it's making money quick. And that, you can use that as a gauge if you're reading the market correctly. If you're having to fight for every penny of profit and all your trades you're spending a lot of time in a drawdown or in the red, you're probably not picking good trade locations, and that means you're not reading the market that day for whatever reason. And so it's good to, recognize that. This has turned out to be a decent little trade. One contract is testing highs, the high of day. So I'm just risking 200 to, if it pops out and squeezes, that could be $500. But if it's going to struggle at these highs, I'm just going to get out. You don't want to get married to a trade. You want to be flexible. So what's it doing? What's it going to do? Still holding. It's holding these highs. Still got a nice look here. Okay, that bar finished up. It's having a hard time. Real hard time. Back at this trend line. And I like drawing, sometimes you'll see me have different trend lines because you'll see it a lot of times and they'll, push off of one trend line, then you come back down here, and it could bounce here. Sometimes a good trade is like a short in between, or just wait and see if it catches support here and go along with the pullback. But this is me just almost. I kind of look at it like doodling. It's not anything that I'm, real strict on. but it helps me keep focused and read the market. So I'm looking to see, is it going to go or is it not? And if it's not, I want to get out. I want to do anything crazy. Double top. Some people might be saying, oh, there's a cup. We'll do like a cup and handle. And you can look for these patterns. I just got out of it because it's not wanting to go. Pretty much a scratch trade on that one. And now I'm thinking, is it going to roll over now? But with these patterns, look at them, know them, but don't just trade because there's a pattern there. Read the chart. Okay? Read the chart. The pattern alone does not make the trade, because the pattern will happen and it'll do nothing but trap you. You have to have context. You have to have context. Okay? So if you don't have the context, if you have a pattern that's showing you reversal, but the market's been not reversing, it'll show you a reversal pattern for the whole day and keep on trapping traders and still move up. And you'll try to take that pattern all day long and you'll get burnt all day. Now, let's see here. I'm just trying to be patient. It's having trouble at these highs. Still could get to this low, or this low. Still could get to this high and fill in this fair value gap. And here I'm putting in a buy because I'm seeing it kind of wedge. But I'm not confident. And you can see me, moving this. When I'm not as confident, I get real busy on the screen, and that's something I've got to work on. But I'm in long because it's holding up, So you got this inside bar. There's an outside bar, inside bar. If you watch Al Brooks, he'll talk about inside, outside bars, and basically when you see that, it's only if you look at a smaller time frame, it's just a flag or a wedge, and they can break either way. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to break higher. It can break down. There's a wedge there, so the possibility of it, squeezing is what I'm thinking about. But it's not, these bars up here, they're not showing strength necessarily. This is nice. But even if you look at the volume on this candle, it's not the best. So it's feeling more rangy still. But I'm thinking, man, if it breaks this high, it could squeeze shorts. I'm not real confident in it. Now here, you're at this point, I'm like, okay, well, it rejected this trend line, because you'll see this break trend line, test trend line. And that's why I get out of the long, because it's testing this trend line. It's looking like it's wanting to roll over here. So that's pretty much a scratch trade there again. And of course, it's like starts to bounce, and I'm like, well, Maybe I should have held on to that one. I think, any of you that's tried to trade, what that feels like. Yeah, I'm sitting there like, now it's going to go. And this is where you've got to, there's some days when it does this, I'm like, oh, I'm getting in long again. You've got to be careful with that because you're going to, I've done it. You get in a mess, over trading, revenge trading, like, well, what if it squeezes and I miss out on that? And you don't want to be in that spot. So thankfully this morning I was patient. I was like, well, it's looking like we're getting rejection. And this happens, it pushed that. Look, that's a new high of day. But it looks so weak. And I'm like, how many people got long looking for that breakout? And immediately there were sellers there. A real breakout, you don't have sellers that quick like that. And so as soon as I saw that little pop of sellers there, I was like, I want to be a seller too. So I sold two, and I've got a tight stop. I mean, I'm risking 240 to make 880, and you see where my target is. It's right above this candle right here because if it moves down quick, that's where I'm thinking it might go. I'm up 600, right at $600 on the day. I was up 13, just trying to get that 1500, and then end up losing. But I'm taking small cuts. Trying to be disciplined. Because all it takes is one good winner. If you take small cuts, small losses, and with trading, if you know how to lose, if you lose the right way, you'll be golden. You'll be profitable. It's a lot harder to lose right than it is to win in trading. So I feel like I've been losing the right way on today. It's losses. There's things I could say. Well, I shouldn't have. Some of the trades, like maybe I shouldn't have took that trade. But overall, I kept my stops tight. I had a cushion. I'm not going crazy with size. With the 50,000 account, you can trade up to 5 minis. I'm using 2 in this trade. I like ones and really I like trading 1 or 2 contracts in the 50,000 account. So it's looking good. When I see this candle right here, I'm thinking this is looking like a good candidate to roll over. I see the 20 EMA right there. This trend line. These are all things. This pulling it. There's probably the liquidity down here. That's where it's wanting to try to get to this support area. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. And I want to let the trade work. Now I know I've got these lows here. So there's a overall like a bigger range right here. But there's a little range right there. Right? These lows, these highs. So I put a little trend line there. Just connecting these lows and see we broke through it. Now I'm thinking, man, okay, we just need to get to my target. And we're close. Close to my target. Now if you've been here in this situation, you know what I'm talking about. when it gets right to your target and then pushes away. You think, it's real easy to get, especially when you're first starting out, just be like, I'm out. But if you're confident in the trade and you realize that the market moves in waves, and if a trade's working for you, let it work. As soon as it's not, get out by all means. But if the trade is working, let it work. Be patient. So this is what I'm trying to be patient here. Now I'm thinking about getting out of one of the contracts. But I'm my inner dialogue here is, okay, the trade's working. I've got 2 contracts. I can't get out of one, but the trade's working. So let it work. Move my stop down. Now, no matter what, I'm going to be up. I'm going to make $220. No matter what. If it comes up and hits my stop, I've made $220. So that's perfectly fine. No, that's a great trade still. And this is where you want to be when you're trading. You want it to be where worst case scenario, you win. And that's when you get in this spot, it's beautiful. It's like, that's where you want to be. So I'm just being patient and seeing what it will do. Is it going to hit my target or is it not? Okay, here we go. It's coming back down. Feeling better about it. Come on. And this is where you're like cheerleading your trade. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Just a little lower. Little lower. Come on. You've done it. If you've traded, you've done it. And I'm just thinking, okay, well, if it comes back and tests the 20, I'm good. That's all I needed to do. Trend line's below that, so I'm looking good. I'm going to be close to my 1500. I was seriously thinking about hitting the flatten off if it was going to bounce at all, but it didn't. It actually hit my target, and I'm up 1476. So there you are, up 1476 on the day, and thankful for that. I want to see if I can. Okay, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can't. Nope. Anyway, I was up the 1476 on the day, so just under the 1500, and it was a struggle bus getting there, considering I only had to make a couple $100 to get there, and then I wound up getting at my low point. I think I was up 400 and some change. I had to work my way back up, but that's trading. It is what it is. I'm not mad about it. Thankful that at the end of the day, it worked out, and I was up. So this is the update on the 50K combine, the live trades I took today. I plan on trading it again in the morning, and I'll update you then. Hopefully, we'll be passing this combine soon, and hopefully this week would be wonderful, and getting into what they call it XFA and getting funded, and we'll just keep on, trying to get better. And if you can learn anything from me and what I'm doing, that's great. That's what I'm here for. This also acts kind of like a journal for me to look at, what I'm doing. It makes me relive the trades that I took, and hopefully, I can improve. And as I improve, and you guys watch me grow and improve, hopefully you guys can grow and your skill and your abilities in trading. I'm sure some people watching this are already way better at it than I am, and that's awesome. I want people to do good, and the way I look at it, we're trading. The retail trader is very small percentage of the traders uh, out there. Most of the volume and the deals going through the contracts traded are you know from algorithms from big banks. So if we can, if the retail traders can take whatever we can take from the big banks and the systems there, that's yeah. I say the more of us retail traders finding success, the better. So if I can help anyone, that's what I'm here for. Um, hopefully, get some entertainment value, education value out of this. And I would ask you, if you like the video, hit like. It's helping me. I'm newer channel, and so you hit, if you like the videos, that helps me a lot. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and you know just watch me grow, and hopefully it'll help you grow. If nothing else, you can be entertained and watch me fail. I don't know, but I don't. Yeah, I don't plan to fail. So, and I'm pretty stubborn, so I'll keep trying and see what happens. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time. Be patient, be profitable.